Now, let us look at this first format. S object. What is a S object? How we are going to refer S object in Apex programming? Then how to form the wrappers with a combination of S objects? We want to start with S object. Now, look at the point. In the database, we have, in the administration, we have seen some objects: account, contact, customer, right? These are the objects what we have in administration. Some of them are standard, some of them are custom. Here we are calling them as the same object in the program. We are calling them as what? Now, look at the format. You are trying to create a record. Let us say you have account. If you want to refer this account in the program, we are going with Apex programming. In the Apex programming, we'll have only classes. In the Apex programming, we'll have only classes. So, what the Salesforce has done, for every S object, there is a class defined. If in the database, if you have a table called account, in the Apex we have a class called account. In the database, if you have a table called contact, the same table we refer here with a class called contact. In the database, if you have a table called customer, the same table we are going to refer here with a class name called customer. So whatever the table name was there in the database, with the same name, they have defined one class. If you want to refer to the table which is defined in the database, in the programming, we will refer with the class name. The class name is exactly the name of the object. Now, let us not use the word called object because we are in the Apex programming. With the moment I say object, you create as object of a class. That is the reason I am using a word called table. Let us remove the confusion. Now, whenever I am referring to the table, database, I am referring to as a table. The tables what we have: standard tables, custom tables. Standard tables, custom tables, what we have in database. If I want to refer to them in the program, we have equivalent Apex class. We have what? Equivalent Apex class. So every table has one class. Using that class, we are going to refer. Are you clear about this? Are you clear? So how the tables in the database are referred in the Apex programming? With the classes. Every table have equivalent class. Every table have equivalent class. Every table have equivalent class. We use that class and refer to the table. I hope you are getting my point. Okay. Now I'll come back to the story once again. I have a account. In the account, I have fields. What are the fields? Name, phone, industry. Now, if you want to create a record, generally what we do? We have a form. Now I gave this is how we are going to create. Am I right? Now, same thing Programmatically, if I want to do, what is the class we are using? For the table account, we have a class called account. For table account, we have a class called account. What all the fields are here? There will be like a variables in this class. What are the variables we have in the class? Name, phone, industry. Now, if you want to use a class, how will you use it? Account ACC. Account ACC. It is an instance of a account equal to new now ACC dot name, ACC dot phone, this is how I'm. Now, is it saved to database? I am not saving to database. First I created, I just created it. I have not yet saved to database. Here also it is not saved to database. If I want to save, I have to click on save. Here also, if I want to save to database, I have to give insert ACC. Here we are clicking on save to save to database. If you want to save to database, I am writing what? Insert. Are you getting my point? Here I click on save, record is saved to database. Here when I say insert, it will be saved to database. If I don't write insert, we just created a record in the program, not yet saved to database. Are you getting? Now what is this account? Account is what? S object. The table, what we are calling, here you call it table called account, we call it as S object. Every S object has a corresponding class. Are you clear about it? Every table in the database is called S object. Every S object is having a corresponding equivalent Apex class. Using that Apex class, we will try to create a records. Then we will try to save them to database. When I create this, now it is not saved to database. We only created, not yet saved to database. It is not saved to database. Just like this, created a form waiting for saving. Are you clear about this? Am I clear? Right. So every table what we have created in the database is referred in the programming as S object. It can be a standard object or a custom object. Every S object have equivalent Apex class. With the help of that Apex class, we start creating the instances. With the help of that Apex class, we start creating the instance of the object. Instance of the class, which is nothing but one single record. Instance is nothing but one single record. Right. Is it saved to database? Not yet saved to database. I hope you are good. Right. Now let me give you quick theoretical information here. What is that S object? Every table we have created in the database, your application is referred as S object in programming. It can be standard object or it can be a standard object or custom object. It can be a standard object or custom object. Every table we have created in the database of your application is referred as subject. Every table we have created in the database of your application is referred as a subject in programming. It can be a standard object or a custom object. Every object has equivalent Apex class. Using that Apex class, we will create using Apex class, we will create the instance of now. Customer. So every object has equivalent Apex class. Using the Apex class, we will try to refer. So what I'm doing? So how do I create lead? What are the fields we have in the lead? Last name. This is how we have created. First name, last name, lead source, phone. We have company. Similarly, create a account record. Start creating this. Create a opportunity record. Create a customer record. Create a loan record. Mode of payment. So create this. Right, boss? Have you created this? This is how we have created opportunity. Then we had customer. How will you give the date? Date dot instance of. I hope you are good with this. Now let it be a standard object or a custom object. We are supposed to refer it. Every table in the database is referred as S object in the programming. Every S object will have corresponding Apex class. Using that Apex class, we are going to create an instance. Is the record is saved to database? We just created it, not yet saved. If you want to save it, I have to write a DML operation. I have created a record, but not yet saved to database. I have created a record, but it is not yet saved to database. I hope you are good with this. Clear? Okay. Now, how you are entering the data now? You are manually entering the data. I don't want to enter the data manually. I want to enter the data from UI. In this case, you are entering the data manually. I have taken my Ramden data, I am entering it. No, I don't want to do that. I want to ask the user to enter. I don't want to manually enter it. I want the user to enter it. So what I will do? Look at this. Public. Right. Now what is the value of that ACC? What is the value of that ACC? Is it empty or null? What is the value of that ACC? Is it empty or null? When you don't allocate the memory, is it a primitive variable or reference variable? What is it a primitive or reference? Is it a primitive or reference? Account is a primitive data type. What is the data type of ACC? What is the data type of ACC? What is the data type of ACC, boss? Account is the data type. Is account is a primitive data type or is it a primitive data type? No, it is a non-primitive. So ACC is what? Reference variable. CON is what? Variable. What is the data type of CON? Contact. CON is the variable. What is the data type? Contact. Data type is contact. Is it a primitive or reference? It is a reference. Now, whenever we create a reference variable, what we have to do first? Whenever we create a reference variable, what we have to do first? Allocate the memory, then use it. If you don't allocate, it will be null. Reference variables, if I want to use, I have to allocate the memory first. Reference variables, if I want to use, I have to allocate the memory first. Reference variables, if I want to use, I have to allocate the memory first. So what I'm doing here? I have allocated the memory. Once you have allocated the memory, go back to the VF page. Listen to the format. I'm giving Apex page block collapse ball equal to value equal to ACC dot. In the ACC, we have a field called, we have a variable called name. ACC dot. To field value equal to ACC is what? Account, name, phone, industry, rating. And then similarly, I am creating one more page block section. Apex page block section, title equal to collapsible equal to false. I'm giving here. So we have con dot value equal to con dot phone. This is how I create. Now have a preview. So what I was doing, whatever the data I am entering here, that is saved to that ACC. Whatever the data I am entering here, that data is saved to CON. So what I am doing, instead of you creating the values, we are asking the user to enter the value. Whatever the values you are entering here, same values will be stored to this variable. Now what is that ACC dot name? Whatever the value we enter here. ACC dot phone, industry. So the values what user is entering, same values are stored to ACC. First I have created instance of ACC. Then I am taking the values what I required from the Visual Force page. Have you followed this? Clear? Now you people have to understand one quick point here. If this is clear, 80% of your doubts will be clear. Now in the first line number 2, what is the variable? ACC. What is the data type? Account. Is it a primitive data type or a reference data? Okay, non-primitive. Non-primitive. Non-primitive means it can be a class, it can be a wrapper class, it can be a list. Anything other than primitive. What are the primitive? Integer, long, decimal, double, boolean, blob, string, ID, and we also have one data type called object. We'll bring that context at the end to avoid the confusions, because we already have so many terms on object. So let us avoid this till the end. Okay. So what we have? Integer, long, decimal, double, string, ID, boolean, blob, string, date, date time, time. All these are primitive. Apart from this, anything else you want to use is non-primitive. If I create a non-primitive variable, if I create a variable for a non-primitive data type, what is the first thing that I have to do? Allocate the memory. If you don't allocate the memory, it will be null. Reference variable will refer to memory. If you don't assign the memory, it will be a null. So I have assigned the memory. Now when I assign the memory, now in the ACC what we have? Name, phone, industry, whatever. Either I can give the values like this, or else I can take the values from, look at this, I give a value, we are getting it. Either you take the value or ask the user to enter. Are you clear about this? Clear? Now if you look at this, if I go to the standard pages, let us take, I have gone with account page. In the account, what I can do, I can only create account record. If I go to contact, I can only create a contact record. I want to create account, contact, opportunity from a single page. Is it possible with the page layout concept? Possible. You can create an account, contact, opportunity using a page layout. No, page layout is defined for an object. Right? Now I want to create all the three from the same page. Page layouts will not support. Page layout will not support. So what will I do? I will go for the VF page. In the VF page, I was able to define a single page. I was able to define a single page. Now the second question, why don't we use a VF page with a standard controller? If I use a standard controller, what happened? I can refer to only one object. If I want to refer to multiple objects, multiple instance, standard controller will not do. There is a reason I have created a Apex class, took two standard controllers as a S objects, then I am referring. If I want to refer to more than one object, from a VF page, you will not be able to refer with the standard controller. VF page, if you want to refer to an object, if you want to refer to a S object, standard controller equal to S object. But I can only refer to one S object. If you want to refer to more than one S object, then standard controller will not work. Then I have to go for writing your own logic. How will you write your own logic? By using Apex class. In the Apex class, create instance of two S objects, refer them in the VF page. That is the reason why I was coming to Visual Force with Apex class. Are you clear about this context? Clear for everyone? Followed up? Clear for everyone? Shall we try one example? Right? People are happy to watch. Now, let us build one quick example here. So, the context is create one Apex class. Create a VF page. Read the values of.
Satish, can you please explain why you are doing the wrapper classes? What is the need of that?
I didn't start the wrapper class topic yet. We didn't start the topic yet. Okay. We're just trying to understand first S object, because I'm going to take a combination of S object in wrapper classes. Wrapper class topic is not yet started. Now what we are learning is what? Referring to S object. We have not started wrapper yet. First you understand this, I'll go for wrapper.
Satish, how we can use that lookup relations, lookup field?
We need to add ID after the field name. If there is a standard lookup field, we are supposed to add ID after the field name. If it is a custom, straight away field name. If it is a custom, straight away field name. If it is a standard, we need to add ID after the field name.
Okay, sir, can you please show me the question once?
As it is, can you please navigate to the VF page? Yeah, the next page. VF page.
So what we have done, basic example, instead of account and contact, I was supposed to take opportunity. Then we are going with public. Then I'm giving ACC equal to new account. Right. So this is how we have taken. Let me create a VF page. Then we are going to give basic structure, page block. Collapsible equal to false. Now you want to refer to exact properties or you want to take a data? You want to take exact properties, input field. No, you want to just refer to the field, input text. Opti dot name. We have Opti name, Opti stage. Input field. Amount. Right, boss? Basic structure we have created. Have a preview. This is how. Same program, if I make it as input text, look at the output, I will convert it into input text. As I told, input field, all the properties are coming. Pick list, required. The same, I don't want to make it required. What happened? We're just referring to the field, not the properties. Right, boss? Now it's up to your choice. You want to get an exact look and feel, or you want to just refer to the field. I hope you are good with this. Clear? Am I clear with this? Okay. Now, let us come back to the concept of wrapper classes. What is a wrapper class? Why we want to take it? Listen to the context carefully. We are going to take all these combinations again. S-object combination we are going to take. Look at the concept. Wrapper class. If I want to take...
Hassan,
what is your query?
yeah, so why the pick list was coming? Although we have not taken the selected list, fine. So by default, why the pick list was coming?
Now, what is the purpose of input field, Amma? What is the purpose of input field? It will refer to exact properties of a field. If it is a pick list, we get a pick list. Currency, date and time. Okay. Now, if I want to take 10, which data type you will take? You will take integer. You want to take Satish, which data type you will take? You want to take name, industry, rating. What is the data type you take? Now name, industry, rating. 3 values you want to take. Name, I want to take Wipro, banking, rating. Do you have any existing format? I have an account, right? If you take account data type, what we can do? acc.name, acc.industry, acc.rating. Now if I want to take last name, first name, phone, what I can take? I can take contact, right? If I want to take last name, because this is the structure which is already existing in our, we already have a class which is referring to this type of structure. Suppose I want to take name. Now I want to take one name and one age. How will you take? Do you have any predefined data type for this? We have a data type for integer. We have a data type for string. But do you have a data type which will take one name and one string? No, right? Suppose if I want to take one account, one contact, do you have any data type? I want to take a data type which will take one account, one contact. Do you have any predefined? We have a data type called account. We have a data type called contact. But we don't have any data type which will take one account, one contact. Now, boss, if you are not happy with the structure or data types what are existing, you want to create your own data type. If you want to create your own data type, then we go for wrapper classes. What is a wrapper class? It is used to create custom data types. Like how the Salesforce have given integer, how the Salesforce has given string, how the Salesforce has given account. Like this, I want to create my own data type. When you want to create your own data type, then we go for wrapper classes. Wrapper class is used to create user defined data type. When you want to, like I know the type of data I am going to take every time, I will be displaying this type of data. Look at the point. I am trying to display data. My data type says one checkbox, account name, phone, industry, ownership. So what was that? This is one. This is account, and here it is. Now every row will have the same data. One checkbox, one account. One checkbox, one account. Both together, one record. Are you trying to get my point? Now how I am taking? I am taking the data. My data always come as one checkbox, one account. Do you have any data type which will take one account and one checkbox? So I have to create my own data type. Based on the structure of your data, you want to create your own data types. If you want to create your own data types based on the structure of data you are going to use, then we go for wrapper classes. If you want to create your own data type, based on the structure of the data, what we are going to use, then we will create wrapper classes. I hope you are good. So what is the purpose of wrapper class? It is used to create user defined data type. Now try to understand this. Now, generally what is a class? Class is what? Data members, actions. What is a wrapper class? That's all. Wrapper class is also a class. It doesn't have any action. Only data members will be there. If only data members are there, I will use it as data type. Wrapper class is also an Apex class only, but it will not have any actions. It only contains data members. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Let me create here. What is a wrapper class? Wrapper class is a class. This will contain only data members. This class will be used as user defined so we use wrapper classes to create user defined data types. Wrapper class is an Apex class. This will contain only data members. This class will be used as user defined data type in the program. We use wrapper classes only to create user defined data types. Example. Create a wrapper class student with create a wrapper class student. Create a wrapper class student with name, city, phone as data members. So how will you create? Public class so this is a wrapper class. Create a wrapper class employee with name, salary, experience. Create a wrapper class employee with the name, salary, experience. Create a wrapper class voice with invoice date, amount, then create a wrapper class account data with one account and checkbox. Create a wrapper class account data with one account and checkbox. Right, Amma? Now let us see this. Let us see this. How you are accessing this? Try to get my point. Listen carefully. Now I'm giving public. Why I was giving set and get? I want to display this in the VF page, so I'm giving set and get. Now we are taking here public student wrapper. Now what is the data type we are using? What is the variable name? std. Variable name is std. What is the data type? Student wrapper. Variable name is std. Data type is student wrapper. Variable name is std. Variable name is std. Variable name is std and data type is student wrapper. Is it a primitive or reference? It is a reference. If it is a reference, what should I do?
Summary.
We are supposed to allocate. Now you want to give the value here itself, you can give it or take from the VF page. It is up to your choice whether you want to assign the value from here or you want to take the data from the user interface. Depends upon the requirement. Then I have student.city. I hope you are good with this, right? So we are using this class as a data type. When I'm writing this program, I have used the student wrapper as a data type and I wrote this program. So create a wrapper class that will be used as a data type for a variable. I hope you got my point. Clear? Okay. Listen now carefully. Listen carefully. Listen carefully, boss. Public account is it a class or a wrapper class? Right? Is it a wrapper class or a class? Now class will contain what? Data, members and action. Did you define any action here? Then what is this is called? Wrapper class. Wrapper class. Because we are only using data members, no actions are specified here. It is a wrapper class. If I create a wrapper class, will it run automatically? No. I have to use this class somewhere else and use it. So what I'm doing here, I'm using here public account. Now what is the name of the variable? My data. What is the data type? Account wrapper. Public. Try to understand this example. Right. If I want to use my data equal to, right, we are done with this. Now in this class, what are the variables we have? My data dot. What is the data type we have? ACC. When you have ACC, when you have the ACC, is it a primitive or reference? Now ACC, did you allocate the memory for this? No. Without allocating the memory, can I use it? No. So my data dot ACC equal to new, right? In my data, we have a variable called ACC. In the ACC, we have a variable called name, which I am giving as. How do you refer to this? My data, variable name, my data. In my data, what we have? ACC. In ACC, what we have? Name. So my data dot ACC dot name. My data dot ACC dot. People have got it. Now similarly, my data dot con equal to, why con is also a, how will you refer? My data dot con dot my data dot con dot. Did you get my point? Have you followed this? Now what is my data? It is a variable for a class called account wrapper. My data is a variable of type account wrapper. In the account wrapper, what we have? ACC. If I want to use that ACC, what should I do? Allocate the memory first. So my data dot ACC equal to new account. Now once you allocate the memory, what we are going to have? Name, phone, industry, rating. So my data, in that we have ACC. In the ACC we have name. My data dot ACC dot name. My data dot ACC dot phone. I hope you got my point. Start creating this example one more time. Start creating this. First create a wrapper class.
Hello, Satish.
Yes.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Do we have any limit, like how many
No.
objects we can define in this wrapper class?
No such type of thing.
Okay, so basically we are creating two classes, correct? The first one wherein we will define
First we are
what
defining
all.
wrapper class.
Yes,
See, the
yes,
point
and
here
then we are defining.
is, allow me to solve. We are creating a data type. Don't consider as a class. We are creating a data type.
Yeah.
Wherever we want, we are using the data type. Okay, let us not consider this as a class. We are creating a data type of our choice, and wherever we want to use it.
Okay. Yep, got it.
Now everyone has created this wrapper. Now complete this class. Now complete this class. Create the object for my data. Assign the values of name.
Okay, sir, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
In the wrapper class, if we have defined like 10 data members, is it necessary that we use all the data members in the
No,
Apex
it depends
class?
upon your
When
requirement.
we are
See, in the class also we have a lot of variables and methods. Every time are you going to call every method?
no.
Depends upon your
Okay.
requirement, you will use it.
Thank you.
Sir, wrapper classes are mainly used for display purpose, sir.
Pardon me, come again?
Wrapper classes are mainly used for only display purpose, right, sir? We cannot store any data.
Wrapper class is used to create a data type. How we use the data type is your choice. Wrapper class is to create a data type. How did you create? First assign the memory. My data equal to right. Then refer to the ACC. In the my data, what are the variables we have? In my data, what are the variables we have? ACC. How will you refer to ACC? My data dot ACC equal to new account. ACC is of type account. So allocate it. Then assign the value for account. Then my data dot con equal to this is how we are referring, right? People who have got this example, let us do one example. If you understand this theme, down the line will be most of your queries will be clarified, right? Let us take the next example. Everyone has followed this example, right?
Satish, how about that multi-select fields?
What was that?
Pick list, multi.
See,
Like pick list, we have multi pick list, right? That's how we can assign that values to. It will be two values.
you are supposed to give it with the comma separated. It's going to be a list value. When you are going for a multi-select, what values you are going to get? A list of values you are going to get. Now you need to go for a list concept to do that, right? Right now we are doing only the single value.
Okay.
Now let us go to the next one. Let us create an example. Create a wrapper class opti data with account and opportunity members. Create a apex class wrapper example 2, which will invoke, which will create a variable for wrapper class and assign the value. Previously we have done account and contact. Now it is an opportunity. Account and opportunity. So how did you create public class opti data? Opti. Here we are giving another class, your main class, public class wrapper example. If you want to display in the VF page, set and get is required. You don't want to display in the VF page, we don't require set and get. Data dot ACC equal to then assign the values as per your requirement. So what is the core purpose of this wrapper class? The core purpose of this wrapper class is to create your own data type. Core purpose of data type is wrapper class is core purpose of wrapper class is to define your own data type. Now why we use this data type, where we use, it's up to your requirement. Somebody may use for storing the data, somebody want to capture the data from the UI, then you want to insert the data into multiple record, somebody want to display it. The purpose of doing it depends upon your requirement, but the core objective of wrapper class is to create data type. I hope you are good. That's all from my end for the day. We'll continue tomorrow.